Let's roll into our post race for tonight's 14th annual Next Era Energy Resources 250 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race here tonight. And our third place finisher is Ron Hornaday Jr. He drove the number 9 Smoky Mountain Herbal Snuff Chevrolet. Drove that to a third place finish. And also coming up right now is our second place finisher. That's Kyle Busch. He drove the number 51 Toyota Care Toyota.
I don't know which way to go you were going to go.
And guys, you put on a good show out there this evening. And I know there was both of y'all wanted to get into victory lane, I'm sure. But Kyle, talk about your run out there tonight in that 51 truck. And you know, I heard you on there. You've won about everything else here at Daytona, but you still want to get that truck win. So I know that's got a bit under your craw a little bit right now.
Yeah, it's another year in the waiting. But you know, the guys did a really, really good job all at Kyle Busch Motorsports this winter, being able to prepare 3 really good trucks to come down here. You know, we had a late deal put together there with Daryl and my deal too, but you know, the guys did a good job building some trucks to come down here. The Toyota Care Tundra was awesome. Just you know, biding my time most of the day, sitting in the right places, felt like, and got the lead a couple times. Probably didn't fall back worse than 5th or 6th, but you know, just doing some good drafting, some good bump drafting with some guys and whatnot, and then there at the end, man, thought I was in the perfect spot, running second there right behind Johnny, and you know, was going to somehow make a move on the last lap, but unfortunately it was only a 99-lap race today, so we didn't get the full 100 in, and you know, wasn't able to make a move coming down towards the end.
Thank you, Kyle. And now let's hear from Ron Hornaday Jr. That's 149 total top 5s in his truck career. That's the most all time in the truck series, and as you mentioned to me, Ronnie, as you came up, you know, top 5 here at Daytona is an accomplishment. I know you want to get to victory lane, but talk about your performance here tonight.
Well, when you're going for a championship, you got to add all the the laps you can up and get out of Daytona without a wrecked truck, and that says a lot. So, very proud of what Joe Danette and NTS Motorsports, Bob Newberry, put together in a short amount of time, and put Brendan's truck together in 6 weeks and come out to sit on the pole, and then the same truck around at Talladega put aside and do what we did. Pretty exciting, especially with the sponsor state aboard for the year we had last year with Smoky Mountain and Anderson's and AKL Insurance. But yeah, I seen Kyle up there. I had a pretty strong truck. I mean, last year I couldn't get up to the guy's bumpers, and this year I can get up to him. When Kyle was running third and the pack would get up on the outside, all I had to do was push the leader a little bit, and we'd take off and clear the inside line. So I thought we had a pretty good truck, and I think whatever Kyle was going to do, I think I was going to try to go that way, and then when Johnny was going to block him, I'd have to go back to the bottom. So who knows? It's just one of them things. It's hard to be in that predicament. Kyle's been in a lot more predicaments like that down here at Daytona than I have, so I'll settle for third and get out of here and get a good points day for us.
Thank you very much, Ronnie. And also is our top Sunoco Rookie of the Year candidate, making his debut here at Daytona, I believe, in the number 4 Arrowhead Chevrolet, and that's Jeb Burton. And Jeb, congratulations, very impressive run tonight out there, and just talk about how you thought things unfolded out there this evening for you guys.
It started off kind of wild, and then it settled down, and then you know, right there at the end, I was going to do whatever the 3 did, and 3 jumped up on the outside, and you know, I didn't feel like that was the right thing to do, so I stayed down low. And, you know, caution came out. We needed one more lap, I think. It would have been a little interesting going down the back, but, you know, happy to get a top 5.
All right, we'll take questions for these guys. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll get you a wireless mic. Questions, anybody? Let's go right here. And then we'll go to Bob right here. Go ahead.
Yeah, for Kyle, John Gunn, NASCAR Illustrated. Could you expound a little bit? What would you have tried to do? Just simply pull out?
Yeah, what would you try? I want to know.
Yeah, that's I'll show you next year. Yeah, I can't tell you. I mean, if I tell you, guys are going to know, and they're going to know what to expect. So I had a plan, and the plan was about ready to take place, and then caution come out.
And I know what it is.
Keep it to yourself, Ron. Use it for yourself.
All right, Bob.
Parker, Sporting News. For Kyle, do the trucks just work better on the bottom compared to like the Cup cars, or was it just nobody was really trying to work the top tonight?
That's an interesting question. I actually thought about that during the race. I was wondering, I'm like, why is it that the bottom works so good and nobody would put a train around the top? But I think it's just because the yellow line, it's sort of your scapegoat. It's a safety zone. When you run the top, the trucks, you're running over the guy in front of you the whole time. I mean, you can run third or fourth or fifth in the pack, and you're half throttle every single lap just running around there. I mean, you got plenty in reserve to use, but you could pull out a line at any moment and just stall out and not go anywhere. So, I think if you were running the top, guys would be dive bombing to the bottom and trying to make moves like that and then trying to get back in line and everything. But it just seems to be that this is the way that it developed over the last few years, actually probably since the beginning, that the trucks just run on the bottom, and that since that yellow line rule's come to play, then it's just been that way.
Let's go to press box for a question. Go ahead.
Tony Bullock, Curry Tribune. This for Ron. Ron, after last year, it just seemed like you could never get any momentum to get into the championship chase. Could you just talk about this finish tonight and what it does for you and your team going on for the rest of the season?
Well, that means a lot. I mean, I was, always telling Joe, you get the right person in the right place and the right people behind you, you can do things. And a lot of years of racing, and it's probably one of my toughest years I've ever had in racing, but you got to be humble about it. You got to learn from your mistakes. And when Bruce came aboard, we seen what we've done wrong with the trucks, and he's fixed 40% of them so far. We still got a lot of work to do, but very confident in going to the next 3 or 4 races we got coming up.
Other questions back downstairs? Bob's got another one there, Chelsea.
Imagine that. Imagine Bob have another question.
Bob Packer, Sporting News. Jeb, were you here in Victory Lane back in 2002? And if you were, can you just kind of talk about kind of racing here at the place where your dad won?
Yeah, I was here. I was hoping I was going to be there this evening, but it didn't work out like that. But, it'd been really cool to win, especially because he did. And, my uncles won here at the night race. So, it was a good way to start off the year for the Turner Scott Motorsports Chevrolet.
Anyone else right here? Kenny? Chelsea?
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. For all three of you, was anything out there surprising at all, or is that pretty much what you've come to expect when you guys race here?
I thought it was a good race. I thought, there was some moments there where the top would come and make some ground on the inside lane, and then you'd have guys fall down in the bottom. And, the push draft was being utilized by a couple guys, and the bottom was same thing. The bottom would kind of push draft a little bit to hold off the outside lanes push draft, and you're trying to modulate water temperature and everything else while that's going on. So, I thought it was for the front, 10, 12 trucks, it seemed like it was a normal night. And then past that, back in the pack a little bit, a few times you could see guys getting squirrely and moving around. But by the time you get back there, I'm sure air is quite a handful. And a few of those guys were having a bit of an issue keeping their stuff straight. And we saw a couple crashes. But, I think that's just part of the game. Everybody's trying to fight for the front, but there's only those guys up there that can be up there. Anybody else?
Jeb or Ron, you want to comment on that, either buddy?
Yeah, I mean, we just had terrible pit stops all night. I mean, I lost a lot of spots. I think the farthest back I got was 11th, and one time I got 12th started on the outside, and when you get on the outside, it was tough to get going. You started being banging, and it just depends who was pushing. You get the guy up front that pushes that's on the top, he just drops to the bottom, and then the outside line goes because the third-place guy ain't pushing the second-place guy, up on the outside. So it was one of them nights. I mean, it just depends. If you had somebody like Kyle and a couple of people that's had some experience with knows about patience, they could have made that top work all night long. So no, it was an exciting night.
Jeb, is it about what you expected out there?
No, better.
Yeah, I think it was a little better. I thought it was a little calmer than what we've seen in the past. Last year we did 3 green white checkers, so I was kind of glad when we went across the finish line I wasn't in the wreck.
Well, I wish they would have wrecked before the start finish line, so we would have had one more shot at it.
Yeah. Let's go here right here to Tom.
Tom Bowles, Athlon Front Stretch. Just a question for Kyle. So, Daytona, there are always so many late wrecks. So, you run that risk of, white flag, race over. It's surprising, actually, it hasn't happened more. Do you leave here thinking, man, maybe I should make my move a little bit sooner? Or is it just a risk you take because the timing of being out front is so important?
It's just a risk you take, with I'm trying to think how to answer this exactly, but you know, if I would have made the move right then and there, coming to the white, I probably myself and Johnny Sauter would have finished about 30th. You know, everybody would have just drove right by us if I would have made the move coming to the white. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do and take a chance on that it's going to go the full 100. You know, I mean, if we would have made it down to the backstretch, and then they would have wrecked off a 2 and wrecked down the backstretch, I bet you they would have let us come back to the checker flag. You know, it's just a matter of them all wrecking over here. And, you know, everybody running wide open to the start-finish line, there's no way you're going to be checked up in time by the time there's crashed trucks. So that's kind of what I think the mentality is up in the tower. But, you know, you take that risk. You have to take that risk. There's nothing you're going to do with 1 to go by trying to win the race and be able to win the race.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, Kick at the Tires. Kyle, can you put your owner's hat on real quick and comment on Joey's night?
I just talked to Joey on pit road, and he was like, man, we got to go over the film and figure out what I did wrong tonight. And I says, I'll tell you what happened. I says, pit road, you got killed on pit road. You know, they had some bad stops or whatever was going on, and he got mired back every time. And every restart he was on the outside, and for some reason the outside lane was not going on the restart. So, you know, he didn't have any luck on his side here tonight. I mean, there in the beginning of the race, it was really a pretty sight to see the gunbroker.com right in front of me. You know, I'm like, we're in a good spot here. I can take care of him and I can take care of me. Everything's going to be all right. And then we came down pit road together that one time, and my guys did a good job at getting me out. And I looked back in my mirror and I couldn't even see him. Hornaday's truck, looking in your mirror, actually looked the same as the gunbroker truck because there's just one big logo on the hood. So I thought it was Joey, but then I looked a little bit more and it was a green side, and I was like, nope, that's not Joey. So just a bummer night for him on pit road, and then being stuck on the outside lanes on restarts.